Hi, Dr. Paul Haider, Master Herbalist here. Today I want to talk about healing thyroid disease naturally. Over the years, thyroid disease is kind of going crazy, and it's kind of been coming since the 50s and moving up. And have you noticed that increase of thyroid disease? Very interesting. Yeah, and lots of people have it around the world. The thyroid is very important. It helps with growth of the body, energy and oxygen use, basically metabolism, heat production in the body, fertility in both men and women. It takes care of our utilization of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, fats, electrolytes, and water regulation, and it also has to do with immune regulation in the intestines. So everything works together. There's nothing separate. And it's been, like I said, it's been increasing over the years. But interestingly enough, our use of plastics has increased at the same rate from the 50s on up. And a lot of people are not seeing the correlation between plastics, which has up to 24,000 different toxic chemicals in it, which are all proprietary. So you don't really get to know what's in that. To all the chemicals that are in our food. The average veggie, regular store-bought veggie, has anywhere from 30 to 40 chemicals in it. 6 cancer-causing chemicals, 12 hormone-disrupting chemicals, and 10 other disease-causing chemicals, and some things like regular parsley, which is not organic, up to another 10 more. Uh, Potatoes are one of the worst. And every single veggie is that way, unless you're eating organic. So this impinges upon every cell in our body, and it's impinging upon our thyroid. And so also, plastics create a xenoestrogen in our body, and that xenoestrogen plays the body like a hormone. And so it's playing in our body, making us men more feminine, and wreaking havoc with every single hormone and interaction going on in our body, including the thyroid. And look around your house and see how many plastic things you have. And especially drinking out of plastic bottles. Not good. We use glass bottles, little 8-ounce glass bottles, and we fill them up from our reverse osmosis machine that we have under the sink in the kitchen. And that's just pure H2O, and it does a great job. And we drink water from that. It's also all the chemicals you have. Look at your TV, look at the computer, look at the lacquers on the furniture, look at what the ceiling is made out of, the paints. A lot of them are toxic. It's just amazing how many toxic chemicals we have around, and some even have formaldehyde in them, and on and on. The rugs that we're laying on in the evening watching TV is full of toxic chemicals. It's a lot of the stuff is impinging upon our thyroid, and so that's really important also. Another thing is stress, and I've found with a lot of people who have come to me with Hashimoto's syndrome or disease, they have a huge amount of stress. I was working with about 3 people on the same day they called, and I sent them to a Vipassana meditation retreat for 10 days, and their Hashimoto's disappeared. And I was like, wow, look at that. Very interesting. Well, the stress interacts with all the hormones in our body. The adrenaline starts coming out, the cortisol starts coming out. It changes every single cell in our body. And so we have this multitude of things going on in the soup that we are of all these chemicals. And also our thinking changes the chemicals in our whole body also. And so if we're thinking stressful thoughts, we have that going on. So it's important that we also look at food, how many chemicals are in there. We'll start eating organic, which make a change. Let's contract with an organic farmer and start seeing organic things change to be the normal in our life, so we don't have to have all these chemicals. Also, it's in our home. We start removing the plastics and toxic chemicals in our homes, and we start seeing, wow, you know, my wife was on thyroid medication also, and I found that over time, her need for thyroid went down, 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 and she's almost off her thyroid medication now. And just because we're eating whole foods, plant-based diet, and we're eating organic, and we don't eat any kind of meat which is laden with all kinds of chemicals, and we don't eat meat in general, but we're eating a lot of wonderful, wonderful, great veggies which are important. They're filled with life-giving energy. Also, our environment, you know what I mean? Chemicals are being spewed into the air, and it's a real problem. And so we're breathing in toxic chemicals all the time also, we're like you're sucking on an exhaust pipe of a car. It's not good. And also, if you do autopsies of people, you find that around every lung there's a black line around every lung. You know what that is? It's the ground up tires that everybody is breathing in on the highway. Because you know where those tire wear goes? We're breathing it in. And this also impacts our thyroid. And so it's important also to boost up our probiotics in our body, because that's related to, as I talked about before, the thyroid. And so we have to allow ourselves to make a change in how we deal with food, the whole foods, plant-based diet. And if you go to www.paulhaider.com and look up on the right-hand corner, you'll see my diet. You can go to that. That's my whole foods, plant-based diet, and follow that. And we'll get you on the mend for thyroid disease. And we'll start boosting up your probiotics so you boost up your immunity. And immunity is really interacting with our thyroid also. And so our gut down here, way down here, is interacting with way up here in our thyroid. So we all need all these systems working correctly. And like I said, go to a reverse osmosis water system, and you can find those at any home center like Lowe's or Home Depot or any other different place like that. They run usually around $200, and they keep going forever. We've had ours about 10 years now, and it's wonderful. Also, there are things that can help with the thyroid in general as far as energy for the thyroid. Lots of berries. Good organic berries are really important for the thyroid. I think a lot of people negate food as being important for thyroid, but berries are wonderful for kicking up the normal regulation of the thyroid hormones. There's about 6 or 8 different thyroid hormones coming out of our thyroid. So we want to help that in any way, shape, or form that we can. So eating lots of berries, I don't care what they are. And that's one thing I do is my wife tends to not like berries on the average, other than blackberries. That's the only one that she likes. I keep giving her more and more berries. Also, negative ions. If you can go to the beach and sit there for a while, that's very healing for the whole body, and I think it's very healing in general for the thyroid. Also, there's also negative ion machines which you can buy. They're a little pricey. They're about $600-700 a piece, but you can find those, and they you just sit on them for about 15 minutes in a little electronic mat, and that really pours negative ions into your body, and that's very healing, and you see inflammation go away. And inflammation is another thing that we have going on because of people eating animal products. There is a trimethyl oxide compound that comes out in our digestion, and that creates inflammation in our body, and that inflammation starts hitting different areas. It can do things like starting cancer, diabetes, kidney disease, also thyroid disease. So we need to let go of eating animal products. We have the smoking gun now. And Dr. Gerson used to talk about this. Dr. Dean Ornish, and they said that we didn't have the gut to be able to break down animal protein. Well, we don't. The facts are there. So we need to let go of that. Start eating a lot of beans and greens, organic beans and greens. And heavy on the greens. The greens are life-giving. There's no doubt about that. So we can move in the direction of healing our thyroid, but it's not about just taking one thing. Of course, there are supplements that are made from animals, natural thyroid supplements, and some people get along with them and some people don't. If you have to take the thyroid supplement, you have to do what you have to do to be able to live. But slowly change your life in the direction of moving towards, total health in general, and then you will see a great change happen. I think it's kind of exciting myself. You don't have to have inflammation in your body. You don't have to have inflammation in your life in general. And I think it's really important that we live long, happy, healthy lives, and we can do that. And we can be free of disease, and then, when it's time to meet our maker, we go. But we can be, while we're here, we can be totally happy and healthy and vital. If you want to get a hold of me and have questions, down below is my email. Also, my phone number is down there. And my website is www.paulhaider.com. And you can find my contact information there too. All my consults are free. And I would love to help you in any way, shape, or form I can. So feel free to contact me. If you do call me early. I go to bed by 8 p.m. And I am on Eastern Standard Time Zone. And if you call me late, I will call you the next day. Leave a message and leave your phone number, and I'll get back to you. I'll try to help you in any way I can. Many blessings, my friend, and I love you.